Good morning, student. My name is Ravindra Jangid. The outline of today's lecture is: first, I will discuss about the GATE examination. Second, the subject which I will teach you, that is transportation engineering. In this, I will discuss the importance of this subject in real life as per the GATE concept. And third is the topic, that is geometry design. In this, I will discuss our SSD, that is stopping side distance, and finally the question which is based on the SSD for the finding of the SSD. First is the question arises that what is the GATE examination? It is graduate aptitude test in engineering. It is this test is conducted by the IIT and IAS. This test is conducted every year. So question, and second is the why we have to appear in this examination, because there is a many opportunity after qualifying this examination. Like first, we can go for the higher education, that is MTech and ME. Second, we can go for the research. Research institute like CSIR, BAR. Third, there is a there is a golden opportunity. There is the PSUs, that is a public sector undertaking. As in 2015, 15 PSUs signed MOU with the IIT Kanpur that will recruit the student as per the GATE score. Fourth, there is a teaching. You can make your career in the teaching field. Now, and last question is that how we can qualify in this exam. So there are the two ways. First, at the home you can prepare for this examination. Second, you can prepare for this examination at a coaching center. There is an advantage to prepare for this examination as at home is that you have a time control at your own time control. Second is you can save money because you have to pay fees for the coaching classes. Now, similarly, there is an advantage to prepare the GATE examination in coaching. That is, you can clarify your doubt at the coaching, and you can also learn the many short tricks to solve the question, and you can also learn the technique from which you can solve the question rapidly. And finally, there is a mock test which is conducted by the many coaching classes, and so you can participate in that test, and so that you can analyze your study and your preparation for the GATE examination. So final choice is yours, that how you have to prepare for the GATE examination and how to get qualified in this examination. Now, second is the subject which I will teach you, that is a transportation engineering. Before starting any subject, we have to know more about that. What is that subject and how it is important in your life and real life and in GATE examination. As per the IT, that is the Institute of Transportation Engineering. The transportation engineering is a branch of the science used for the application of the technology and science process in the planning, designing and operation of any mode of transportation. There are the three modes. First is land, second is air, third is water. So planning and designing and operation of the transportation, traffic, movement and transportation mode is as the transportation. As transportation is vital for the economic development of the region, since every commodity produces some product like food, industrial product, which require the transportation at all stages from the production to distribution. So it is very important for the for the carry the product and distribute this product to market. So we require the transportation. As the adequacy of the transportation system in the country indicate the economic and the social development of the country. Now, as per the GATE concern, the weightage of the transportation engineering is 8 to 10 question, 8 to 10 mark question will be asked in every year. So we have to also concern on this subject. So we can get marks and we can qualify for getting in GATE examination. Third is the topic, that is the geometry design. In geometry design, first of all, as per the syllabus of the GATE examination, this topic is geometry design of highway. So first question arises that what is the highway? What is highway and why we designed for the geometry design for the highway? Highway is the main road which connects two cities for movement of vehicles from one place to other. And in highway there is a many element like width, length, horizontal, curve, vertical curve, and etc. So designing of these element is a geometry design. As we can say that the geometry design, the art of designing of the element of highway. So in geometry design, we have to design the cross section of the element, side distance, horizontal and vertical alignment. Now, the factor which influencing the geometry design of highway. First factor is road user characteristic. In road user characteristic, mainly the factor that is a reaction time of the driver. This is the main concern, this is the main responsible for the factor which influence the geometry design of highway. And the reaction time is the response to the particular situation which is ahead of the driver. As per IRC, we take reaction time 2.5 second to 3 second. Sorry, 2 to 2.5 second. Second is vehicle characteristic. In vehicle characteristic like width of road, length, height, these all affect the geometry design of the highway. At the width, it influences the width of pavement. Length, it influences the turning radius at curve. Second, height, it influences the clearance of vertical dimension. It also influence the, as we will discuss in future in next classes, that super elevation, which is provided a horizontal curve in which there is a vehicle, there is a force which is acting outward, which will overturn the vehicle. So this force, and there is height. So this force, if this height is more, then it can be overturn the vehicle, and to reduce this force, we will increase the height at outer side, and super elevation, this will be provided at horizontal. Third is the design speed, and it is the most important factor to decide the overall requirement of the highway, and that's for the topography, functional classification of the road. It is a national highway, expressway. It also includes the geometry design. Again, the traffic volume. As the traffic volume increasing, we have to increase the width of the highway. We have to increase the width of the highway, and seventh is the safety, environmental consideration. It is also influence the geometry design of highway. As in geometry design of highway, we cover the element, that is the cross-section element, that is the width, gradient of road, etc. So we have to design for these. Second is side distance. That is a distance which should be available ahead of the driver, and in which we will design for the SSD, OSD. That is the stopping side distance, overtaking side distance. Third is the horizontal alignment. In which we will design the horizontal curve, in which we will provide super elevation. So we have to design for the super elevation. Fourth is the vertical alignment, in which we provide the summit curve, valley curve, etc. And finally, the intersection, in which rotary, design of the rotary, channelization, etc. Now, as today we have only one concern on the side distance. Question arises that what is the side distance? As the safe operation of the vehicle on the road depend upon the road length at which the obstruction becomes visible to the driver in the direction of the travel or not. So if the obstruction is visible, then driver can easily and safely can move on the road. Like if driver is moving in that direction, if they, you can see that the obstruction is present here, you can move easily counteract this obstruction. Now, side distance that consider in the situation of the design is first is SSD. It is a stopping side distance. It is a minimum side distance which should be available at any spot. Second is a OSD. That is the overtaking side distance, which is available for the overtaking of the slow moving vehicle. the fast moving vehicle, or that is a design which vehicle which are moving on the design speed. Third is the ISD. Third one is the safe side distance to enter intersection. Safe side distance to enter intersection. IRC also considers the some more side distance, that is ISD, which is twice of SSD. It is provided if we cannot provide the overtaking side distance at any zone, then we can provide for the short term overtaking of the vehicle at some distance. Second is a headlight side distance, a distance visible for the driver during the night, so that there is no accident in the night. And it also very critical at the time at upgrading and downgrading. So we will study about only the SSD. SSD is the stopping side distance. Stopping side distance, the distance which should be available at any spot, like this is the road. So if we are here, then here, then here, then here. So this distance should be available at any section, any section. So driver has visibility to visualize the obstruction which is coming from opposite direction. If we define the SSD as formula, the SSD is the lag distance plus braking distance. As the lag distance, the distance which is required at the time of reaction of the driver to see any obstruction, or we can say that the distance traveled during the reaction time of the driver, which is equal to V into T. V is the design speed and T is the time, that is the reaction time. So as per IRC, we will take T is equal to 2.5 seconds. Please remember this. Second is braking distance. As we are moving on vehicle, we apply, if we visualize any obstruction, then we apply a brake. So the distance which cover the vehicles after applying the brake is known as the braking distance. So as there is a vehicle, there is a friction force acting between the road and the tire, that is the F. The friction force is the F into L. F is equal to WL, friction force. This is the work done during by the friction. Second is the kinetic energy, because vehicle are moving at the speed V, so it is equal to half mv square. So we can also write the half W by G V square. So if we equate equation 1 and equation 2, that will be square by 2g f. This is the braking distance. So finally we add the equation 1 and equation 2. So we get dt plus half v square by 2g. This is equal to SHD. V is in meter per second. V is the design speed of vehicle and T is the reaction time. Reaction time. This is equal to 2.5 seconds. And it is the friction coefficient. This is the function of the design speed. There are two cases which we can also take into account if we find out the SSD. These cases are, the first is if you are moving on the upgrade, second is moving on the downgrade. So weight is acting on this side. Is a theta, W, sin theta, and there is a friction force F, WL, and there is a kinetic energy of mv square. So W sin theta. Because theta is a very small, so we can write down the W tan theta, and tan theta is equal to W into tan. Tan is the percentage of the slope. So we can write down n by 100. So if we equating the force, F summation of F is equal to 0, that is W n by 100 plus F W L is equal to half mv square. So we can write down that m is equal to W by G. So W n by 100 plus F W and L is equal to half W V square by G. So we can get the W, and finally the braking distance is equal to V square by 2G F plus N by 100. So finally our SLP formula is leg distance plus braking distance. So VT plus V square by 2G F plus N by 100. This formula is used when we are going upgrade. Now similarly, if we are going on the downgrade, W, but in this friction forces are in on opposite direction, as W sin theta and F WL. So in this, after solving this equation, like if you equating that W sin theta with the FWL, then we get finally that L is equal to V square 2G F minus N by 100. Now we put this equation in this formula. So SSD for downgrade we get VT plus minus plus V square by 2G F minus N by 100. So finally, we can write down this equation, both of these equation, as in one manner, that SSD is equal to Vt plus V square by 2G F plus minus N by 100. This is a very important formula. There is a main point also we have to include in this SSD, that is the effect of the grade. That is we have to consider this or not. If we are going on the upgrade and which is undivided, then we do not consider this. Like undivided means there is a no median, that is called undivided. If there is an upgrade and also there is a divided, then we consider this n by 100. Second is this, for the single lane road and two-way traffic, we consider SSD is equal to twice of SSD. That means there is a lane, there is a single way, but there is a movement of traffic is two-way. 3.5 meter length, or we can say single way. So then we consider SSD is equal to twice of SSD, because at that time there is a chances of the accident is more, so we have to concentrate point. Third is on the vertical curve. There is a definition, that is distance with which a driver from a height of 1.2 meter can visibility of an obstruction at height of 0.15 meter, like this. This distance is called as and one is that if SST for the design is not available, then we decrease the speed of the vehicle by using the warning sign. Like we apply that 30 km per second or as per the design. Now finally, the formula of SST is this. Now we will solve one question so you can get better to understand about the SST. And the question is that, चलो वो तो पोस्ट कर देंगे.